So hello and welcome, my name's Steve Nobel, and today I'm speaking with Tarryn Jilda Slade on embracing Unity Christ consciousness. So Tarryn is an intuitive spirit mentor, inner child and soul guide, channeler and founder of Trinity, which is an online space for brothers and sisters of the light, a home where people are invited to authentically express and explore more of their emerging truths in this time-space reality. And Tarryn's website is tarrynslade.com. There will be a link going out with this podcast. So, hi, Tarryn.
Hi, Steve.
So, we've met before, Tarryn, but can you just share something about your journey, how you came to be a intuitive spirit mentor, soul guide, and channeler?
How much time do we have?
It's all an illusion time, isn't it?
Absolutely, isn't it? Oh, what a beautiful question to dive us straight into this. Such a multifaceted experience, really. I believe there's been, the walk-in experience that I had when I stopped breathing for about 10 seconds. But let's go into childhood. For me, it was always there. There was something that was always nudging me and guiding me towards something that said that there was something more to this reality. There's something else more invisible for us to tap into and connect into, and following, I guess, a deeper inner guidance towards that, and just really never settling, for the status quo, and always being guided to ask questions and to really question things and really come home into what I felt was my truth and my guidance, really. And as I tapped further into that, I found that, there were others as well on this journey, and sometimes we have to be willing to walk the first 100 yards on our own to realize that we're not alone, and that there are others out here in this time and space, in this reality, experiencing different planes of reality here. And it was a real unfolding, I feel, would be probably the simplest way to sum it up, and a curiosity, just getting curious about who I am in this time-space reality, and falling really deeply in love with the journey into authenticity and awareness, and other people's journeys as well, finding ourselves mirrored in each other's experiences, and just seeing what a gift it is to be reflecting to each other. This universal truth that keeps shining through no matter what. It keeps coming back through. So, lots of little processes.
Were you always supported on the journey? Did Mum and Dad go, Tarryn, thank God you've finally woken up?
Oh, this is so funny. Do you know what? My family, I feel like I really chose my family quite specifically for this incarnation. I feel like I'd done a few lifetimes around, especially in these layers, but on the whole, no, it wasn't fully supported and celebrated, but it was also not rejected or condoned, let's say.
Right.
I was quite blessed, being brought up in a family that was always quote unquote spiritual. My mum was always quite connected and tuned in, but then she closed her channel off in her 20s. My aunties, were always really open, but nobody really understood it. Nobody really had the courage to go over the edge with it, go to the edge of the comfort zone with it, going for readings, seeing clairvoyance, and having, medium channelings. That was very common in my family, but nobody really had that courage to leap out of that into the multidimensionality reality. And I guess that's where I came in.
Well, you're blessed, because many people don't even have that. My parents would look at me aghast, going, "What the hell are you doing now?" My ex-wife would say, "What cult are you in now?" Very common. She still says that to me, actually. So you're very blessed, I think.
I've come to this realization more so recently. I've come into the deeper embodiment. I really did try to run the victim storyline in my family and be like, oh, I'm so misunderstood and no one understands. But as I've come really deeper into my integration, I've realized that my family are actually very aware and very awakened beings. It's just that somebody had to go first in leading the way in my family, and I guess that's kind of been me.
Yeah. What do you think is happening? This is a very big question, Tarryn. What do you think is happening on Earth right now? In terms of the spiritual awakening, not in terms of the myriad of other stuffs going on.
Of course, no, look, I think the simplest thing that I would tap into here would just be ascension. You know, there's an incredible ascension that is happening across the quantum field right now, and so many beautiful beings are really reclaiming their sovereignty and stepping into their truth and learning to discover more deeply who they are, and that curiosity, again, I keep coming back to just that curiosity that people are having with this gentle awakening that's happening on a greater scale than I believe we've ever seen before. You know, I believe it genuinely has been lifetimes in the making for us to see this level of consciousness that is rippling out, and we haven't even begun to hit we're literally at just the tip of the iceberg with what is about to come. And across the planet, there are ascension symptoms rippling throughout, and we're entering into, the Christ consciousness portal right now. Especially, we're having a conversation here on Good Friday, and this portal is opening, and it's going to see us slingshotting through into the equinox. So for those, for us here in Australia, that would be spring, and on the other side, it would be in winter. And this unity consciousness is something that is really, I genuinely feel that it's what we all believe and know and remember within ourselves, that we really are at the core here in oneness, and that we all just want to know that we are loved and that we belong. And these symptoms are really rippling throughout this entire realm right now, these ascension symptoms, and they can be something like physical, like lethargy. I know I have been sleeping like crazy, like 12-hour sleeps, and then don't need any sleep, 4 hours, and it's just floating through to headaches, to solar plexus. My solar plexus has just been on fire recently, to just incredible activity within my third eye and activations that have been happening throughout my physical being. And when I speak to, let's say, Trinity, the beautiful tribe of just 5D light workers and light leaders here, moving together, gathering together in these pods, just moving our light together and strengthening that, the symptoms seem to be pretty unanimous, actually, amongst the tribe. And it's just, what an incredible time it is to be alive. Like, what an incredible time it is to be incarnated at this time. And we're really feeling that on, let's say, I want to say like a Gaia level. I don't even know what that means, but just moving it down into Gaia and into the crystal lines that are activating and shifting beneath us right now. We're really seeing these frequency highways being upgraded to a point that connection is happening more quickly between us as human beings. And what we're leaving behind is a legacy of light that we'll see future starseeds incarnating here, able to come together in the unity consciousness timeline, which is really where we get to play, where we get to experience incarnation on the playground of the multiverses.
And where is it heading, Tarryn, do you think? Where is all this ascension heading for the planet?
Let me feel into this one with you.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel it's heading into something that we haven't yet seen before here. And in any of the lifetimes that we've incarnated here. And I actually have hit a point in my timeline journeys where I can't see that far forward right now. I've been speaking with a few friends around this, and we're literally live, actively co-creating and manifesting a new timeline on Gaia that we haven't ever seen before. This is the furthest I feel like we've ever really come. And so when I try and project myself into the outcome and the future, it's so beautifully based on the collective coming together and uniting in our hearts, and coming back into that compassion and coming back into that oneness, and that beautiful, just unconditional love, of all of the duality, and that collapsing into wholeness, that holistic approach to this dimension. It's incredible
It is incredible. I think you're right. I mean, I get glimpses of the future which seem amazing, but I think there's a big clear up's going to happen on the planet because of the mess being left behind by some people. But further down the line, I get that we are heading in an incredible time on the planet. What about Unity Christ consciousness, with this collapsing into the oneness, this all-embracing love? You've touched this experience and you're kind of living it and helping other people to feel it. What would you say about this experience, and how could people start accessing more of it, do you think?
Okay, I love this so much. So I genuinely believe that it's a vibrational game for us right now. We're leading our lives into the vibration that we desire to have more of a manifestation around us, right? So living in alignment with your vibration is going to help create this unity consciousness. I genuinely feel that it is a very personal experience. You know, it's tailored to the inner realms, to the inner work that we're willing to do, and going deep within and dropping within and having that compassion to have self-inquiry, to feel what we're feeling, to allow ourselves to express it wholly and to heal it through that self-expression, and having this beautiful embodied grace to know that, you know, we're all on this journey together and we're all doing that the best that we can, you know, with what we have and where we're at. And this unification process, it appears externally when it is reached internally. And it's about becoming whole within, you know, bringing the sacred masculine and the divine feminine together into unity, along with honoring the inner child, you know, and our greater being, and connecting to, you know, the angels and guides and our galactic guides and our spirit team, and also feeling, you know, deeply connected to Mother Earth. And it's this unification process that is happening on an inner level, you know, coming really far within and anchoring that into the heart space and allowing that to lead you through. And what I've found is, as you know, I'm still in my process, and I'm loving the process of this as well. And what I have found is that as I move deeper into, you know, self-love in those inner realms and the unification, more people around me show up who are on the same journey, and that fifth dimension, you know, becomes so palatable and almost the only reality that we live in, you know, in a sense, apart from the 3D material world, like, you know, the actual world that we live in. But the consciousness seems to raise and match as a reflection of the inner work that people are doing, and it's just incredible to see.
Yeah. Can I ask you about self-love? It's such an important question, isn't it, really? Because the 3D matrix probably teaches to critique ourselves, or even attack ourselves, or, you know, judge ourselves or be judged. How can we embrace self-love without going into some ego state of, aren't I the best, the most amazing, you know? What is genuine self-love versus ego, you know, the delusionary of I'm the most amazing person?
I love this. I would call that the power scale that we can tend to slip onto, which would be, you know, where we're powerful, like they'll look at me and the powerless, oh, this is happening to me, and slipping into that, versus moving into an empowered state where we can separate ourselves from the experience and come deeper within to self-love. And for me, the fundamentals of self-love really start with the inner child. Really, you know, if that pure, beautiful, innocent, you know, sweet light that is within every single human being here, we're incarnated with the most sacred gift of all, is that within we are just pure love and pure light. And moving into those inner realms and honoring the inner child, and really just knowing that no matter what, you are seen, heard, loved, acknowledged, and celebrated, and that you can provide this for yourself. To me, that is like the most ultimate level of self-love that we can offer, is having that courage to allow ourselves to feel what we're feeling, and that curiosity to go, okay, what part of me is feeling this? And I speak with my inner child all the time. all the time. I spoke to her just before getting onto this call.
Yeah.
And sometimes we put a 3 or a 4-year-old in charge of our lives. We have these toddlers within us, these beautiful, innocent beings that see the world as it could be, that they dare to dream and they dare to believe in magic and the unseeable. We all had this ingrained in us, and as children, and as we grow, that kind of gets squashed out of us, or stamped out of us. And for me, reconnecting to that beautiful little part of me and just making sure that she knows that I've got her. Reparenting the inner child isn't something that we've been taught as a generation, and it's something that is really healing out a lot of the core wounds that we are experiencing in the collective. Because deep down, when I've worked with clients and peeled back these emotional layers, it really only filters down to one of 3 core wounds that we're experiencing when we're in fear or shame or guilt or rejection or humiliation. And underneath it all is just that we have a fear of abandonment, that we're worthless. Like, who am I? Who am I to do this in the world? Who am I? And the deepest wound of all is that we're unlovable for being ourselves, for being our most pure, authentic, loving, shining selves. And somehow we add these layers upon it, and the ego comes in and creates a story around it, and suddenly this pure, innocent light within us doesn't feel like they're enough. And it becomes this war, internal war between, the ego and the inner child, and there's no one there to step forward and protect the innocence within us. And that's where the reparenting has come in for me. Journaling, having conversation with her. My inner child and I write to each other, and my handwriting, it just changes when she's writing. And I have a photo of myself as 3 or 4. I think I'm about 3 in the photo. And whenever I'm feeling one of these emotions, because our emotions are our compass, and any emotional response that we're experiencing is actually a trigger from the inner child. And the inner child is just putting their hand up saying, hey, I don't feel safe right now. Where's the adult? And that's when the goddess or the god or the warrior can step forward, or the mother, the father in us can step forward and say, oh, honey, I've got you. You're so safe. And we are here on this playground, and we're going to have so much fun.
It sounds like, and this is my experience also, that embracing unity Christ consciousness is about almost like embracing a whole family of selves within us and upgrading them in the light. Would you say something like that?
Oh, that is so perfectly said, Steve. I love that so much. Absolutely. The unity consciousness really is the unification of all of the aspects of self, and it's the fragmenting of ourself, having that beautiful awareness to go in and look at all of these beautiful fragmented pieces of ourself within, and then weaving that back together into wholeness within. It's this inner job, and bringing that all into that holistic universal heart into the unity consciousness. And it's just incredible, because we're working with all of these laws as well, like the law of attraction, and that vibration that we can emit from ourselves when we are seated in our own inner unity consciousness manifests a world around us that shows us this. And that doesn't mean it's all peaches and cream and roses and things like that, because that contrast experience lets us know that we're incarnated and that we're having an experience. But what I found is that through this integration, this cellular upgrade to hold this higher frequency, even in the obstacles or challenges, it still is peak to peak, because my soul is there going, woohoo, I'm having an experience. I came to incarnate on this planet to have an incarnated experience. This is the best, even in the face of obstacles and challenges.
Wonderful. Well, Tarryn, I know you got a meditation that relates to what we've been talking to, so I'll pass it over to you.
Oh, amazing. So I just wanted to invite, for those of you who are, listening in and feeling really guided to connect into the grid, the grid of unity consciousness, and weaving the love and the light around this globe. There's this beautiful this beautiful invitation that I'm going to make for you to come in and feel into just the most pure source that you can ever offer to the planet, which is your love. Your love. Your love is all this planet will ever need from you, that purity. And so I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes and just take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just relax your body, relaxing your jaw, relax your tongue, relax your shoulders, release any stress that's in this space in your body. Relaxing your stomach, your thighs, your feet. Just allow your body to be held by the earth. Just allow gravity to bring you down to earth. And we're just going to bring this red light up from our root chakra. Just breathing this red light up through the root chakra, past the sacral, and just breathing up through the solar plexus, the heart, the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown. Just allowing your vessel to open to the light. And above your crown, visualizing a golden ball of white light. And bringing this golden ball of light in through your crown chakra, down past your third eye, past your throat, and allowing it to land in your heart. Your beautiful, unconditionally loving heart. And I'm just inviting you to find the glow in your heart space, the warmth. Find the smile on your heart. And I'm just inviting you to pour all of your love, your light, your grace, your compassion into this golden ball of white light in your heart center. And I'm going to count down from 3. And on 0, I invite you to cast this golden ball of white light out through the front of your heart, across the entire globe, and receive it through the back of your heart chakra, greeting this beautiful sacred realm in all of your glittery love. So, taking a deep breath in through your nose. 3, 2, 1, 0. Cast it out. And receive through the back of the heart with love and light. Thank you for all you are and be in this world, for all of the kindness and compassion that you show. to yourself and to others, for always doing your best. You are so loved, and you are so lovable. Please hold this in your heart and return to this as often as needed. And just taking another deep breath in. And on the exhale, just sending so much love around your aura. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.